Hey, how's it going, everybody? Charlie Wilson here, aka Sinister Charlie. Welcome back. Hello, how are you? Got a haircut. I was tired of it. Didn't like it. No, sir, not one bit. It was honestly getting too much. Anyway, veteran with a sign. The USS Abraham has been, I should say Abraham Lincoln, has been deployed for 9 months. Why are people calling them weak? The most I've ever been deployed is for 7 months. 9 months it's a bit much, but then you think about like there's people who got deployed to Iraq for like an entire year. On a ship, I don't know what that's like. I was in the Seabees, so I never stepped foot on a ship. I imagine it's pretty rough with getting resupplied and stuff like that. So I don't, I obviously I think it's a shitty situation for them to be in. But yeah, it's that's the military. You're going to be in a lot of shitty situations you don't want to be in, and you just kind of have to grit your teeth. I don't know what the opinion of a veteran with a sign here is. Also, he's a big he's been on Fat Electrician quite a few times. So, or the podcast, Unsubscribed podcast. Anyway, let's go.
All right, fine. You win. I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to talk about the USS
All
Abraham
right, talk
Lincoln.
about it.
And I'm going to warn you right now, some of you are probably not going to like what I have to say. And that's fine. Apparently, we've gotten to this weird place in society. Whenever someone in the military says something sucks, right around the corner, there's a veteran waiting to tell you how much harder they had it than you. And they use the same old line.
Sorry, that's probably going to be talking about me. No, but it does suck where they're at. I mean, I not have sympathy and compassion. It does suck.
That are just really lame. When I was back in my day, that's the Navy. It's not a carnival cruise. And nobody said it was. And none of that changes what is happening right now. The sailors and Marines of the USS Abraham Lincoln have been deployed since November 21st of 2025. They are now approaching 9 months deployed. Think about that for a second. 250 days without pulling into a port, without getting off the ship, without going to a restaurant, without walking through a store, without sitting somewhere that is the same hunk of steel where you eat, sleep, and shit every single day. 250 days. And somehow, instead of saying, holy shit, that's a long fucking time, some people, a lot of people, a disheartening amount of people hear that and say, it's really not that bad.
It's pretty bad, though.
Why are you the way that you are?
This isn't a competition. It really isn't. I deployed twice to Afghanistan. I was in Garmser. I was in Marja. I was blown up. And I'm telling you right now, none of...
Yeah, I was in Iraq for 7-month deployment. I was a convoy security gunner. A lot of people have heard it already, but yeah, it's like I was outside the wire pretty much every night for 7 months straight. Yeah, it sucks. I don't know what he's going to say about it, but
that gives me the right or authority to look at some sailor who's been on a ship for 250 years and tell him how much worse it was for me.
We know
like,
you
hey,
meant
man,
this.
It's just like a floating airport prison. It's not that bad. I'm not going to do that, and you shouldn't either. My wartime experience doesn't invalidate someone else's wartime experience. I hate to tell all the veterans online this, who have turned the online world into a digital VFW, which is my personal nightmare, a place where everyone goes to lie and exaggerate about their service.
Yeah.
I hate it so much. There's always someone that had it better or worse than you. That's just the...
Honestly, the last time I went to a VFW was in Port Hueneme, California, and that's a good VFW. I had a lot of fun there. And it was like a walk, it was like less than a block from my apartment, so that was nice.
way it goes. If you look at the Iraq and Afghanistan wars, the guys in Vietnam had it worse, and the people in Korea had it worse, and the people in World War II had it worse, and the people in World War I had it worse, and on and on and on it goes. None of that invalidates my experience or theirs, and that's okay. But why are people doing this? I don't know why, because it's literally the worst example of veteran military culture I've seen in a long time. And that's saying something. Like, everyone's online being like, you think 250 days is hard? How about 350? How about 7 months? How about 8 months? How about 9 months? How about 14 months? Whatever. Anyone can do that. It's really stupid, and comparison is the thief of joy, so I don't know why anybody's doing it in the first place. The reality of it is they did sign up to be in the Navy, and they were asked if they were having fun. The kid said, nah, it kind of sucks here. We haven't been important forever. We've been on this thing for 250 days. I haven't seen land. That's okay. He can say that. That's his right. Calling him out and like attacking him is probably
I don't appreciate that either. I see a lot of veterans attacking other veterans now because it doesn't like align with their political beliefs, and it's really fucking stupid. So why don't you support the troops then?
Highest level of gross that I can think of. So the first thing that people have done to attack this whole thing and how hard it is be like, well, they have beds. They do have beds. That is true. Well, they have food. Oh, they do have food.
Sure.
It is hot. That is true. They have water. Oh yeah, they've got stuff. They got a certain level of amenities. That is true. But that doesn't mean that it's still not hard, right? Imagine being cut off from the rest of your life and all you can do every day is wake up, eat, and sleep. That's it. That's what people keep forgetting. Now, I was a Marine who was on a ship for, I don't know, like 2 to 3 weeks. Marines don't have a job on the
Damn,
ship.
dude.
It's
I was in the Navy, and I've never been on a ship. This guy's been on a ship more than I have.
the absolute worst. You're in everyone's way. They're doing big boy shit, like trying to keep the metal from sinking in the water. I still don't know how that works. Doesn't
I
make
don't
sense
either.
to me. Would make sense, but metal floating just baffles me to this day. That's not the point.
Did you learn nothing from my chemistry class?
My point is this, they're working every single day. It's inescapable and they have no target to reach. They have no goal line. They have no finish marker. They have nothing. All they know is that every single day is Groundhog's Day until they get home. And on top of that, they don't even know when that's going to happen. Can you imagine living like that? Have you ever lived like that? Most people haven't. So why are people attacking these kids for saying that I just want to know when I'm going home? Because realistically, that's what they're saying. They're not saying they don't love their country.
Yeah.
They're not taking a political stance. They're just saying, I want to know when I get to go
Oh,
home.
Jesus. Sorry
What's the
about
crime in that? Not to mention who this affects the most, the families. As someone who had a family while I was in the military, I can tell you that there were many gaps that, like, I would go for extended periods of time without communicating with my family. The longest I ever went without talking to my wife was 90 days, and it was extremely hard for myself and her. One of the hardest things I've ever done. She had just given birth to our first child, and then she didn't hear from me for 90 days and was just having to get fed information that she saw online and hoped that she would never get a call or see a Marine knock on her front door to tell her that I wasn't going to make it home. Also, the reports from the ship aren't great. I mean, somewhat that is to be expected. They've been out to sea for a long time. I'm not excusing it or saying like, oh, well, that's the way it goes. It just doesn't sound great. You know, having shortages of food, fresh water, mail gaps, all of the things that connect them back home, they're not getting. And all they get to do is work and maybe they'll go home. And as of this recording right now, August 17th, 2026, they're still deployed at sea. I do believe they're going to be relieved, but I don't know when.
Okay.
Listen, I want to be clear. This isn't an attack on the Navy or the military or anything like that. I'm definitely
Take that, Navy. I don't know. Yeah, you can attack the Navy. That's fine.
not taking a stance on any war because I'll never do that. What I am saying is that sometimes these things happen. That's just reality. On my first deployment, I had 2 Marines who were serving with us who literally got stop lost and didn't complain for 5 seconds. For anyone who doesn't remember, it's basically
Yeah, I
like the
remember that.
military says, oh, guess we can't find you. Guess you got to keep working. They literally pause your contract. You don't move forward. You don't move back. You get no credit. They go, oh, can't see those Marines. And they got stop loss and they got to stay there. Yeah, they got back paid, but that doesn't matter if you die.
Damn.
More importantly, they lost the ability to choose. People have been extended. I know people who were like on deployments and got extended multiple months for no reason that they
Yeah, when I my original contract was 5 years, and I had a 1-year extension, like a 1-year, 3-month extension for some reason. I don't know why. I didn't really complain about it. I was like, oh, this will give me more time to save up money before I get out, you know?
knew other than it was just part of the job. That's fine. Every other person that has had these circumstances happen to them, we've looked at them and be like, man, that sucks, but we're proud of you. What I don't get is why we haven't taken that approach to this generation. Instead of just become clickbait and anger to attack these younger sailors and Marines who honestly looked up to all of us. And that's the saddest thing of all. Because when you think about it, we were the Marines and sailors and soldiers and airmen who were actually out there doing the things that they saw growing up, and that had an influence on them and made them want to serve. Now imagine the people that you looked up to with respect, that you idolized, that you thought were heroes. It's your turn to serve your country and they're calling you a coward and weak. How would that make you feel? Why are you doing it? I don't know why people are doing it. And to be honest, it's kind of one of the things that makes me hate the VFW, because every experience I've ever had there and everyone else, as far as I know, is it's a lot of old people gatekeeping trauma.
It is a lot of old people. I don't know about the gatekeeping trauma thing, but it was a cheap place to drink when it was right down the street from me. So it was a lot of old people. If you want to get away from young people, that's where you got to go.
And I can tell you one thing for sure, most of them are lying. You can tell within 5 seconds of the way they're talking. The point is that no one has like a higher or lower priority over what's a good deployment, what's a bad deployment. They chose to serve, and that's something to be proud of. What everyone should not be proud of is the overall response that has been, you're weak, you signed up for it, that's the job, that's the Navy. You should be ashamed of yourselves that you were at a place where you're attacking people who did the thing that you did too, and they even looked up to you, but you had no control then, and they have no control now, and now you're attacking them and calling them less than. All in all, I've learned a lot, and I'm really disappointed in the way everyone's acted. And I know it's the internet and everyone's online, but it's not just online, it's all over the place. Everyone has an opinion about these Marines and sailors who decided to serve their country. People that were inspired by people like me and you who served their country before them. They saw that and they wanted to do something bigger than themselves, be a part of an organization and be a part of something that's truly incredible. And now they're being attacked for it because they said, yeah, it sucks being out here for 250 days. We have no idea when we're going home. And then everyone online feels proud about that. You should be ashamed. This is the reason why veterans don't want help. This is the reason why they're afraid to ask for it. It's because they're scared of being judged by people who think they're lesser than them. And the only way we can fix this problem is to actually address it head on and describe what's really happening. The truth is, there's a lot of people trying to gatekeep war and trauma like they're the kings and queens of it. The reality of it is, you're only hurting our community more than you'll ever truly know. That's it for me. Hopefully you learned something here. To the Marines and sailors of the USS Abraham Lincoln, come home soon. We're proud of you. Thank you so much. If you want to support the channel, go to veteranwithasign.com, get some merch. Thank you very much. And if you want me, you know how to find me. Later.
All right. Yeah, man. I agree with about like, let's say like 90% of that. Sure. It's not, I think he has a problem more with the, just the response to it as opposed to the actual deployment itself. Because if it's shit like that's going to happen. Like I said, I got a 1-year extension. I don't really remember why, but, it gave me a chance to save more money. So, yeah, it is. People say shitty things online. What are you going to do about it? Yeah, it's best just not to take it so personally. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it. Please like and subscribe down below. It does help the channel. I'll put the link in the description for this video. Go sub to Veteran with a Sign. And yeah, I guess that's it. So thank you very much for watching, and bye.